Houhou is a trap. You are wasting a permanent character on a temporary fix. The moment Elation gets a real sustain, she's out of there. Huohuo isn't useless. She's decent for now, but there's a difference in doing a job and being worthy of a Selector, a very limited resource. She provides decent buffs for Elation currently, energy and attack. She also provides decent healing, but it's sometimes not enough. The healing frequency and output do leave something to be desired. And yes, E1 does solve this a little bit, but it's not everything. This is why Huohuo is a trap. On paper, she looks like the best possible choice, and quite frankly, for Elation, she is. But there's considerations here. If she cannot fully sustain by herself, then what exactly did you spend your Selector on? She can be a support for Elation, but we're in 4.2. We've got, what, 4 or 5 characters for Elation at this point? How exactly is the meta going to change? She's not going to last. She can't last. How could she? Let me ask you real quick. How do you buff Elation? You add more Elation characters. That is how the path has been built. It basically compounds on itself, just like Remembrance did. We've seen this before last year with Hyacinth. They create more and more supports that are more tailor-made for this role. Picking Huohuo now is a temporary stopgap. There isn't currently a good Elation support that can sustain that fills her slot. But what does the future have for us? So the question I would like to ask you is, when do you think there's going to be an Elation sustain release? Because last year, Hyacinth came out literally one patch after Casteris. She was also an anniversary character. They're dropping 2 anniversary characters right now that would both love an Elation sustain. They could easily drop it in 4.3 or 4.4. It's not if, it's when. Speaking of Hyacinth, let's be real, you likely already have sustain options. Hyacinth outperforms Huohuo in healing. For every team where you need a healer, you probably don't need the extra damage that Huohuo is bringing. Hyacinth is probably going to give you enough sustain to clear everything comfortably with your already existing investment. And let's talk about Danny Boy for a second. He's a free unit that provides insane shielding as well as an offensive buff. Now, he was time limited, so maybe not everybody has him now. But if you do need another healer, there's still Gallagher. He's a free to play option that you don't need a Selector for. Is he as good? Not really, but he's still viable. Speaking about the Selector again, this is where it really hurts your account. We're not just talking about taking Huohuo, we're talking about losing something else that's strong. We have Robin in the pool now. She works amazingly in so many teams. She gives attack buffs, she gives action advance. It's a very useful character that you can slot in many compositions. Ruin Mei is still insane. She is fantastic in Super Break, and Firefly just got her Nova Flare. Welt is looking very promising. If you've got an Acheron team, and you've got Welt at Eidolons, it looks like you're going to be set. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe, but if you do, it means a lot to me. There's many more value breakdowns coming your way. Now, I'm going to argue against myself and give you the reasons why I would pull Huohuo. Let's say you're missing sustains, you don't have Hyacinth or Dan. You absolutely do need another healer for your teams. And if you're a new player, you're gonna get even more insane value out of Huohuo. She does have an attack buff and energy generation. This is not a small thing. This allows you to use her in quite a few teams where she is beneficial. I don't think many of these teams will be optimal, but if you're just trying to get through the game, or you're early on and you want to make an impression into the in-game, you can certainly do it here. There's also the argument to be made for if you're making 2 Elation teams. Let's say we get an Elation sustain. You're still going to get value from Huohuo because your new Elation sustain can only be in one team. You may have 2 or 3 teams at the end game. So There's just more to go around. And finally, there's the feelings card. If you've got no better options from the selector, and you don't want to save, and you just like Houhou as a character, her design, her personality, that's all that matters. Enjoy the game. Let's bring it all together now. Elation is going to be incredible with Houhou, and that's why this is such a sneaky trap. But the meta isn't permanent. Your selector choice is. I would advise not making a permanent decision based on a temporary team. What do you think?